Hello, everyone, and again, Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a really great time ringing in the new year, celebrating, and just having fun with friends and family. This video is a continuation of sort of planning, assessing, thinking ahead for this year and what it is that I want in terms of evolving or not evolving, my aesthetic and what kind of purchases I think will help me sort of get to where I want to be aesthetically. Now, if you haven't watched my last video, that is a very important step for me. In that video, I review everything I bought, really focused more on, of course, winter and fall clothing, a little bit of spring, but mostly winter and fall clothing. And I had a long, hard look at it, had an honest conversation with myself, and really figured out what were the things that I absolutely loved and why. And then on the flip side, what things didn't work for me. So already had that sit down, and again, I encourage you all to do that. I think it's super, super helpful in order to make better decisions moving forward in the future. And in this video, this is the fun part where we can kind of imagine and just think about things in an unconstrained way. Like, don't worry about money, don't worry about anything. I mean, I don't own any of these items yet. These are all just pie in the sky. I would like this someday. And whether you ever buy any of these items or not, I think it's so helpful to have a vision and have a North Star. So you're not making just like frivolous purchases, but you're really trying to figure out how you want to look, how you want to feel, and then working towards getting closer and closer to that, whether it be with an exact item or maybe a similar looking item that's more in your budget. Doesn't matter, but being focused and really having a good idea of how you want to feel, how you want to look, I think is really critical. For this video, I'm going to cover the clothing items that I have in mind for 2025 on my wish list. And then in the next video, I'm going to talk about accessories and shoes, just because, and actually a few other things that kind of fall into like the other camp. Just because, honestly, trying to cram it all into one video again would be quite long, even though, thank you all so much for watching my last video. I know it was almost an hour long, but that's how many purchases I had to go through and comb through and to put that all together for you. So thank you for watching that, but I know that's kind of a lot for most people to sit down and digest a whole hour-long video, so I will be breaking this apart into two videos. I also hope I'm not blending into the wall completely behind me. Good thing I have my dark hair now, but I am wearing this amazing shirt dress from AD in Paris. This was an item that I mentioned in my best purchases of 2024 video, and I just thought it's nice and light and bright and really sets the tone for, yeah, the vibe of this video. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've got my computer in my lap because I put together my wish lists this year in freeform, which comes with every Apple computer, but you can use a lot of other tools that are similar to it. Canva is a great one. They have a free version of that. So Pinterest is another great option. So pick your own tool and feel free to start, but I just think having some kind of visual tool really helps me, again, visualize the whole thing and what I want. So I'm using Freeform. I will share this as a pin on my Pinterest, which I leave linked in the description box below. If you want to go over to that at any point in time and see, I'll link all the products and stuff as well. I'll also just link the products in the description box below, but you could always check out my Pinterest at a later time if you can't remember or find this video or anything like that. So for clothing, I'm gonna just put it up on the screen here and give you guys a second. Maybe some of you are having a little chuckle. I know this is the most boring wish list you've probably ever seen. This is definitely the most boring wish list that I have ever made. But to be perfectly honest, and I will share, I don't share a lot of my personal life. I've mentioned obviously my wedding and a few things like that, but I have my wedding this year. I've been putting so much money and attention and things like that into that wedding that I obviously still love clothing and fashion, but I have such an incredible wardrobe that I want to focus more on exploring full-on brands as a whole. So for example, I'm going to have a video coming up where I have quite a few different things from the brand ALC. Stout is another brand that I really love. St. Agnes is another brand that I really love. So I'm going to take the opportunity of having this channel to really dive into certain brands, and then brands I also have that I already love. But for the most part, in terms of like my core wardrobe, I am super, super satisfied with my clothing. You'll see more on the, shoes and accessories section of this, but in terms of clothing, there's not a ton at this point in time that I'm like, I have to have that, if that makes any sense. And I think that makes sense because I've been building my wardrobe out and I've been really purchasing a lot of investment pieces that it makes sense that I wouldn't feel the need to just add a bunch of stuff for the sake of adding stuff. So anyway, enough justification. Let's dive in and kind of move through each of the areas. So the first piece is a little bit of activewear. And while I didn't put all of this on this board, that is something that I'm already getting ahead of this year. I usually always clean out my apartment. I kind of devote a different section for each week of January. So I'll do like the living room one weekend, I'll do the closet one weekend, I'll do the bedroom one weekend. And I kind of use that to just go through and really cleanse and reassess and just start off fresh. And I was already doing this and thinking about a few areas of my wardrobe that really need an update. And it's just one of those things. It's my socks, my undergarments, and my activewear. I've just found in the last couple years, I only wear like darker activewear. I have some lighter activewear from Italic that I think it's time for it to move on. And I have a whole video where I talk about how I clean out my closet. I've been using a brand called Trashy, which I really like. They do clothing recycling and they do it in a responsible way that's really helpful. So that's a great outlet. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through and clean out my socks and undergarments and all of that kind of stuff and just start fresh. I have such a clear idea at this point in my life what I love. I love Uniqlo socks, for example. They're heat tech, really thick socks I love. I love the Polo Ralph Lauren, like short socks. So everything else can just go at this point. But anyway, that's a long-winded way to say that I really love my Quince activewear. I bought it in brown earlier this year. And it's really high quality. It's very buttery soft. I love this particular aesthetic where it's got like the high neck and it's kind of like a tankini where it covers more of the torso. So you just have like a little bit of your stomach showing. I don't love it when I'll do like a full stomach out in my yoga class that's dark because no one can see anything and it's hot. So I like having, a little bit of breathability where I can find it. But in general, I like more of a full coverage look, and this set from Quince is really great. So I think when I get rid of some of my old Italic ones, I will replace them with this activewear just in black, frankly, because I wear my Adenola black set all the time and I wear my Italic one as well. I also do love this kind of taupe color. Again, this was an obsession that started this past year and it just hasn't stopped. I just love this color. It's a great neutral. I think it'll be really good for spring and summer as well, but it's still staying true to like my neutral aesthetic. It almost looks very Skims or something. Now, the next items are a little more exciting. So they're not socks, they're not underwear, they're not activewear, they're not anything like that, but I can't believe I'm saying this, but for the amount of videos and things that I've purchased from COS over the last, 10 years, I've been buying COS forever. I've never had any COS cashmere, which doesn't really make any sense. So this is the year I want to explore COS cashmere. I have my eye on two styles. They have, I think what's just called their like pure cashmere, which is the very classic style. And it's got the gorgeous crew neck. Of course, they have this lovely undyed natural kind of beige color that I really like. I think a black one would be great as well. And then they have this chunky cashmere. This looks really, really similar to the cashmere from the Row in terms of like the chunky neckline and the oversized fit. I think this will fit a lot like the Quince oversized Mongolian cashmere that I also really love. So this is just the year. I just need to do it. I'll do a whole separate video on it and how I feel about it and whatnot. But I just think that for the amount that I wear cashmere sweaters neutrally, I could easily use another. So this is another area where I want to invest a little bit in my wardrobe. Kind of also along those lines, I have found, especially now that I have my sock boots from the Row as well as the dupes from Mango, I really am enjoying the column skirt. I know the maxi skirt has been a thing now for a couple of years, but I still really love this aesthetic, especially with a t-shirt or a sweater. It's just super casual. It's very comfortable. It's very easy, especially if you have a good slit in the skirt and you can walk in it easily. So I want though like more basic pieces. So I feel like the skirts that I have either have really dramatic slits or they have certain patterns and stuff to them. So I want just a really beautiful plain, again, very inspired by the Row column black wool skirt. COS has one right now that's currently on sale that I ordered in a 2 and a 4 because on the site it said that it runs a little small potentially. So we'll see which one fits the best. If I get them before I publish this video, I will leave in the comments which one worked out well for me. But that is one that I really have my eye on. And then last year, this was also actually on my wish list and I never purchased it, but some kind of leather column skirt. I wear mine from Pixie Market. That is a faux leather a lot. And I just think having a real leather one would be awesome. So that is also on my wish list. St. Agni has a really beautiful one. ALC has a really nice one that I think I want to try. So lots of good options, but again, I think I know that I wear these skirts already, and I just think having an even more basic version of them will be even more wearable in my wardrobe. Now, the next thing is something that I am wearing. So I won't go too deep into it because I know I talked quite a bit about this particular shirt in my best purchases of 2024 video. However, I will just give a quick blurb. This is from a Parisian brand called ADN, and they're a really small brand. I love supporting, small businesses, female founders, and it's an incredible fabric. I love that this is a linen, but it's really, really thick, which sounds normally when you think of linen, I feel like you think of light and gauzy, and this is still very breathable like you would expect from a linen, but the structure is really there. In fact, you can hear how thick it is just based on the fabric, but I love this shirt. I love wearing it as both a dress and a shirt, so much so that I actually think I would like to get this in the black color as well in 2025. I originally purchased this white color because I thought maybe this beautiful detailing on the front here would get a little lost on the black. And I still think that might be true. However, I also think I would really like the black and I would wear the black a lot. And knowing how much I wore this, especially over the summer when I want to look professional, but it's really hot outside, this was such a great top or dress for me. So I just think that I'd get a lot of wear out of the black version of this. And you'll see this is kind of a trend. It's basically just repurchasing things that I already have, but in colors that I know that I will wear a lot, which again, I'm sorry. I know that's super, super boring, but this is where we are right now. I promise the shoes and accessories one might be a little bit more exciting. So the next item is something that I have been keeping my eye on because it's currently on sale on Net-a-Porter. And that is this black wool dress from the Row. Another very similar silhouette. And I actually have this dress in ivory. I wore it for my civil ceremony and it is the most beautiful dress I have ever worn. I love it. And they have it in black, like 40% off on Net-a-Porter. And I'm keeping an eye on it because if it ever says like one left or anything like that, I will buy it. It's still quite expensive, even at 40% off. So it needs to be a well thought through purchase. But I just think the black version of this will be so stunning for weddings or formal events. The cut of it is just so beautiful. This is such a timeless dress that I can wear now or I can wear when I'm 60. And there aren't a lot of pieces like that. I mean, I feel like people can say that, but when it comes down to it, it's not always really true. This is one that even my mom tried on and it looked phenomenal on her. So it really does span all generations. And I just think it's so, so stunning. When we were taking our photos in Central Park, I'm not exaggerating, so many people stopped to just be like, oh my gosh, this dress, because it's a really, really, really special piece. So I had to include it on my wish list because I just can't stop thinking about it and I keep monitoring it. And I feel like it's just one of those pieces that is going to be worth the wait. So the final pieces are more for spring, summer. They are a little bit not really for my honeymoon because we are getting married in a tropical, warmer location. So I do want these linen pieces for that time. And I've just given some examples. I feel like I've just scratched the surface when it comes to beautiful kind of linen for summer. If you saw in a lot of videos that I made over the summer, my favorite items from this past year that I bought were my Quince linen pants and linen tops and things. So linen is the best. I love, especially a dark linen is great for the city, like a black linen. I have some really great pieces from Dish in black. So I adore, especially wearing like black linen pants with this. Such a great combination. Gives me that like drama and volume without the heat of a warmer fabric. But I really would love some like modern dresses that have that gorgeous long silhouette that's very Dune-esque, but without looking costumey. And it's a lot harder to find than you would think. So if you guys know of a summer brand, kind of like a St. Agni or a Dish, that does really stunning minimal linen pieces, please let me know in the comments below. Because again, I feel like I've just scratched the surface, but I have this idea of what I want, and it's just proving to be a little more challenging than I thought it was gonna be. So yeah, I don't need to add too many pieces to my wardrobe because I really built out my summer wardrobe this past year, but these are some special pieces, especially through the lens of, you know, being where I'm going for my wedding and whatnot. I think it'll be great to have them as like pool cover-ups and wearing at night for dinner. And yeah, just this kind of aesthetic I think is really what I'm looking for. So overall, that is my 2025 wish list. I know it's minimal, and obviously, yeah, you guys, I'm sure will see as this channel goes on this year, I clearly will be purchasing more than just this stuff, but I think the simplicity of this is inspiring because I really want to stay focused this year, even more than last year, and focus on quality, focus on really exploring like new brands and sharing all of that fun knowledge with you all. So let me know if you have anything clothing wise on your wish list for the year that you are just super excited about and maybe you're saving up for. And yeah, keep an eye out for my next video where I will share shoes, bags, that kind of thing. Because believe it or not, I know I said I was done with bags, but there is a bag on there that I am just, oh, I really, really, really want. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in my next video.